Hi, Erik Linask here, coming to you from CompTel 2011 in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm talking now with Nan Chen, who's the president of CENX. Nan, welcome. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your company. What do you guys do? Who are you?
Yeah, CENX is actually stands for Carrier Ethernet Neutral Exchange. What we do is we interconnect carrier Ethernet networks together around the world, allow them to be able to reach out to the footprint, which they currently don't have. You know, what people typically call those off-net access. And we are the first and most connected carrier Ethernet exchange, and we currently have over 15 million Ethernet service locations, which stands for ESLs. Those ESLs are really representing all the access points or buildings can be accessed through CENX exchanges around the world. You know, we have over 10 locations now around the world, that including LA, New York, Chicago, Miami, Hong Kong, London, just name a few. And we'll continue to grow in that way. Really making carrier Ethernet to be a more ubiquitous available through access to each other's network. You know, we solve the kind of industry end-by-end problem. Otherwise, you have to connect it directly.
So really just driving peering relationships between providers.
Yes, you can think of that way to a certain extent where you're peering at our location on Ethernet level. However, kind of contrary to the popular belief how easy the Ethernet is, and in this particular regard, because the Ethernet have flexibility, which is obviously one of the virtue of Ethernet, but also becoming a pitfall simply because that there's so many parameters associated with each Ethernet definition, and all the carrier have a different Ethernet definitions, so that when you interconnect them together, it becomes a challenge. That's what we come in and really help them solve that problem.
So there's obviously been significant interest, significant growth in the carrier Ethernet market. Do you anticipate that to continue?
Oh, absolutely. I think if you look at depending on which religion you believe or which analyst religion you believe, there's continued growth in that particular market. For example, when carrier Ethernet first started, you know, back in the day when MEF started, 2001, it was pretty much virtually zero. Now, last year, Ethernet services revenue reached $20 billion, and within the next 4 years, 3-4 years, it would have reached 40 billion. So it's significant around the world.
So what does that mean for, what are the implications for CENX?
Oh, it clearly is great, because when people start to grow their Ethernet services, the more they grow within the footprint, the more they're going to need outside footprint. Just think of an analogy like, if you think you can only use a telephone network as an example, if you can only call the people who service by the same service providers of your own on, then it's not very useful. You want to be able to reach other customers in other carriers of service around the world. And same thing apply to carrier Ethernet. You know, you want to be able to connecting all the carrier Ethernet networks together around the world so that the customers, each of the service providers service, be able to reach anywhere around the world. So that's a goal of CENX, to be the kind of next generation of tandem, if you would, if you draw an analogy between the telephony network and the carrier Ethernet networks.
What about market consolidation? What impact can that have on your business?
It certainly, in the extent of a consolidation, sometimes you guys slow down. Sometimes, in this case, actually this morning, we saw a case they want to speed it up because they want to really speed up the process to access other people's network now with a merger and an acquisition. Speaking of today, we're actually making some announcement today. And first of all, Verizon is big. CENX, we call CENX members, CENX customers. They have been connecting us in New York, and you know, today they made an announcement, success driven. So they're going to expand with us in Washington, D.C., as well as in Los Angeles. We actually made an announcement ourselves at CENX, and we're making an announcement that we actually opened the D.C. carrier Ethernet exchange as well. So it coincides with the Verizon's announcement. So we continue to grow together and then move things forward for the industry.
So what is the benefit for a carrier as large as Verizon working with you?
The benefit is actually a multitude of benefit. First of all, is the large carriers a lot of times doesn't really not necessarily have ability because there's so many priorities. It doesn't have a really ability to connecting to many carriers. They may connecting one or two directly, but on the global scale, the exchange is the way to go. Proven, in this particular case with Verizon, where they see significant value add and revenue growth just through CENX, because we make their life a lot easier to do business with other carriers around the world. So, and secondly is really from the perspective of being able to accelerate the revenues. And a lot of times you can always, I think everything can be done. It's just a time frame. You could take 2 or 3 years, but in this way, you do it really quickly. You connect it, you get a commercial agreement done, and you start doing business tomorrow. So it's a very, very efficient way to interconnect. I can use an example. People say, why you do this, right? Say, why you do, we can just direct connect with everybody. I said, well, it was at a show. I said, why do you come to show? You get everybody together at the same time. It's very efficient. You talk to each other. You can just call them. Why you come to show? So same thing apply here is where we basically provide a platform for carriers to do business, make it easy, transparent, and better and cheaper and more efficient.
Do smaller carriers and network operators stand to benefit more from working with a company like CENX?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. And small carriers certainly see a significant benefit because all of a sudden they'll be able to reach a lot of places they otherwise wouldn't be able to reach, and some of the big carriers probably wouldn't give the time of the day to do so, just be frankly speaking. So it certainly expand the footprint very quickly, very fast.
What can we look forward to from CENX over the coming months?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of in our store. We recently made an announcement of wireless backhaul. We're providing the capability to allow folks to interconnect with us so that the wireless carriers to be able to seamlessly access their cell towers through myriad of access providers, backhaul providers to access their cell towers. We're also looking at continue to expand our recently announced member link, which is connecting all our exchanges together around the world. So you're making one big party. There's a benefit considerably to a lot of the carriers, but also we do away not competing with our carriers. So we don't want to provide that link because some of the carriers may think that's their business, but we're doing so by not competing with the big carriers, but also provide the benefit of connected exchanges so that allow the carrier connecting one exchange to be able to talk to the carriers connecting another exchange around the world. So we're going to continue to work on that as well. So and then continue to expand the geographic coverage as well.
Excellent. Well, we certainly look forward to hearing more as things progress for you.
All right.
We've been talking here with Nan Chen from CENX. Nan, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.